Good evening. Guys, my name is Mac again, and we're right back here on my front porch in Lexington, Mississippi. You know, 2021 has kicked off with a bang, and I ain't talking about just a bang. Look out, boys, because the SPRA is coming in hot. And the very first stop in 2021 took me teaming up with Frontier Classic Rodeo Company over at your second annual St. Clair County Cattleman's Rodeo in Odenville, Alabama. Guys, this was voted your best new indoor rodeo of the year in 2020. Frontier Classic Rodeo Company with Mr. Greg and his daughter, Ms. Emery Norwood. They are your reigning stock contractors of the year. They locked horns there and teamed up with Broken Arrow Rodeo Productions. That's my man, Mr. Carl Jones. That guy there puts so much into the SPRA, and he does it not looking for any kind of glory, but that did earn him your 2020 Terry Denard Memorial Buckle this year, and we tell him congratulations for that. Now, dude, when we got there this year, Mr. Greg Norwood is your stock contractor of the year for a reason. He brings entertainment like none other, and I'm talking about phenomenal trick rider and Roman riding sensation, Ms. Dusty Crane Dickerson. She brought her husband Justin there and their protege, Ms. Jada Cook, and boy, did they wow the crowd all weekend. And then my man from Poplarville, Mississippi, just world-renowned barrelman and funnyman, Mr. T.J. Williams. He was there all weekend, too. If you get a chance to see a show with those guys, you don't want to miss it. Now, in past segments of On the Road with the SPRA, we just basically got right into the meat of things. We've told you about the people that won each event. We've told you about some of the ones that even pulled some checks here and there. But I'm going to tell you, something that I'd really like to showcase in this segment are two contestants that in 2020, they made their SPR debut year. They signed up as rookies, they entered everything as rookies, and when the dust settled and the smoke cleared, they came out as your 2020 Rookies of the Year. And I bring them to you tonight because, well, they came back in 2021, very first rodeo. They said, hey guys, hold my drink. Y'all watch this. I'm about to show up and show out, and that's just what they did. In the barrels was Miss Michelle Quinn, and on the steer wrestling side, the big man's event from the Robertsdale, Alabama, the steer wrestling mega down there, Mr. Colton Ferguson. I have them both on the phone with me. I'm going to introduce them to you right now. Michelle, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Mac. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Now, last year was your first year to SPRA Rodeo. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So what brought you to the SPRA?
I would have to say the camaraderie of the girls. I've known several of the girls that are members of the SPRA for a long time, and it's nice to be a part of an association where everybody cheers everybody on and everybody's pulling for you and willing to help you out.
Last year, we saw you go to the Paywanda in a big way over in Tuscaloosa, Alabama at Sokol Park. I saw you show up in Philadelphia, Mississippi, and you and your horse were absolutely phenomenal. You walked across that Gold Buckle Gala stage. You got your Rookie of the Year buckle. And you don't do all that by yourself. You have a four-legged equine teammate there. Tell us a little bit about him.
So I have a 9-year-old mare.
A mare?
She was, yes, wouldn't ride anything else. Born and raised at our farm. Owned her dam and her sire both. So she's a home-raised baby, so that makes it a little special.
That's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. She's cutting horse bred. She's a granddaughter of Hottest Little Pep.
So you're telling me she's just a cow horse that can turn?
Yes. Her turns are what makes her. Maybe not her. She has short legs, so maybe not all the speed in the world, but her turns definitely help her out.
Well, let's talk about your run in Odenville, Alabama. Now, you say that she doesn't have the speed in the world. I'm going to show them a video right now. And as you look and see that video, guys, that horse has some speed. Michelle, tell us about your run and kind of what your game plan was coming into Odenville.
I was excited to actually enter that rodeo, of course, being the first one of the year, but also she loves those little small pens with the close barrels and the everything just right there compact. That's where she seems to excel. So I was very, very excited about it. And that's also pretty close to a hometown rodeo. That's about 30 minutes from my home.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you got to show up and show out there in front of your hometown crowd. It was a pleasure.
Yes, that was exciting.
Introducing you to the ones that didn't know you and hearing the ones that did know you just, I mean, literally on their feet, guys. It was deafening. The crowd was just into it so much. Michelle, great run. Congratulations on your win kicking off 2021. You got anything else you want to leave us with?
No, I just appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Thank you for joining me. Now we got to bring in the cowboy of the bunch. Mr. Colton Ferguson, he hails from L.A. I call it Lower Alabama. He's from down there in Robertsdale, Alabama, and, you know, I don't know how much he does it. I'm fixing to ask him, but when he's not jumping steers, when he's not at the University of West Alabama, team of that Tiger Wrangler ambush over there in Livingston, you can find him guiding fishing charters. That's what they tell me. Colton, how are you doing today?
Great, Mac. How are you?
Man, I'm just great. I'm awesome. I'm glad to be here. So, tell us a little bit about your fishing charter business there. Do you still do that?
I worked as a deckhand. My uncle works as a captain on another boat. Living in South Carolina last 2 years ago, he asked me, if summer's coming up, he said, would you like to take a chance at making a bunch of money? And I took the chance, and it was a great time. Had a blast. It kind of slowed the rodeoing down, but was able to sit back and think about what I wanted to do when it was, when the season was over, and when it got done, I was ready to get back on the road. It was so much fun. You get to meet so many people from so many places, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world, that's for sure.
Well, we get to do that here in rodeo, and especially with the SPRA as well. Now, when you haul up and down the road, we always try to haul together, and that's one of the great things about rodeo, and one of the great things about the SPRA is the camaraderie, like Michelle mentioned earlier. And, your main hauling partner is the reigning SPRA champion for 2020, JT Ellison. Tell us a little bit about y'all's relationship.
Oh, me and JT, wow, it became a brotherhood that became it got real quick, real fast. I mean, everything just fell in the way I guess they were supposed to. I called JT a couple years back before the Slam Fest of Sam White and steer wrestling, and asked him if I could ride his great horse Bolt, and he told me anytime. Well, I knew fishing season was going to affect things, and when it was over, I called JT and asked him about what was going on in the rodeo, and he said the SPRA is the place to be. He said, man, there's plenty of rodeos. You can make the finals. He said, you've got a horse to ride. And JT was just so open about letting me get in the truck with him and ride his horse. And I couldn't have done it without JT and his family and my family to back me.
Well, dude, you had a great year last year in 2020. We congratulate you on your rookie buckle for 2020 with the SPRA. And, after Odenville last weekend, or weekend before last now, I guess, after that I visited with you just a minute. Tell everybody what you told me about your guys' practice session and what you told JT you were about to do.
Oh, yeah, me and JT had a practice session the day of the rodeo, and me and him and another boy that goes to West Alabama, Cooper Maloney's calf roper. He can throw steers as well. And we practiced right before the rodeo, and we run some steers on the ground, and I run one and really made a good run. And JT was pumped. He likes to holler and get loud. And
right.
I hit my head, and I was like, oh, kind of dizzy. I was like, I don't think I'm going to run another one. He's like, you know what, run another one. He said, let's have a competition this time. He said, whoever makes the cleanest run, least amount of mistakes, the winner. I said, sounds good. Well, I run up there and made another really good run. And we got done, and JT was like, that was pretty good. He said, you want another rack of them? And I was like, nah, I think I feel pretty good. I think I'm going to win the rodeo tonight. He said, boy, you did bump your head pretty hard, didn't you? I was like, I don't know about that. I said, but I'm sure ready for it.
Well, I'll tell you what, so when you backed in the box and you nodded it and laid down 4.1 seconds, I'm going to take a minute right now. We're going to play that run and watch that for just a second. Dude, talk about Sam White Slam Fest. You brought Slam Fest to Odenville, Alabama, and it paid off in a big way there for you. Congratulations to that. Now, for being down in Robertsdale, tons of great steer wrestlers from down there. I know you've teamed up with JT and you guys feed off each other. What other influences have you had in the steer wrestling world?
One of probably my greatest influences is five-time regular national finals qualifier Kyle Irwin. I grew up watching Kyle in high school and college and coming up through the pros, and he's really close friends with my uncle, and Kyle was super open about helping me when I started steer wrestling, and if it wasn't for him and Quinn Campbell living right beside me, just letting me come over and practice, them guys have been such great influences. I've had guys out of, a good friend Cody Musso from Canada has helped me. Justin Thigpen,
wow,
multi. I mean, he's been to the IFR. I don't even know how many times.
Like 17 times.
A bunch of championships.
Yeah.
Oh, it's those guys have just really opened the way for me and brought me in with open arms and helped me so much. And I don't think I'd be where I was without those guys. And being from Robertsdale, you had to take the title and just go with it. I mean, if you're from Robertsdale, you had to mean business. You don't want to disappoint with that name.
Well, you sure have not disappointed. Guys, we thank y'all for being with us. Here's how a little bit of the other action shook out in the bareback, guys. Your 2020 SPRA bareback champion, Kenneth Glick, spurred one down for 79 championship points. And then Reform, Alabama's own Mr. Brian Ferguson came in there and put the steel in the beef, in the bull riding, and he toppled everybody over for 87 points to captivate the win and wind us up there in Odenville, Alabama. Michelle, Colton, once again, thank y'all for joining us. Guys, my name is Mike again. Follow us on the road with the SPRA. Now, our next stop is going to be in Tennille, Georgia, with Hendrick Rodeo Company. Go to www.sprarodeo.net. Click on that schedule. You can follow us up and down the road. Click on the standings. You can keep up with all the cowboys and cowgirls where they're sitting. And until then, follow me on the road with the SPRA. Y'all come see us.